We're still waiting for Anna Maria to join us. So for now, we will hang out and learn a little bit more about what she's doing. So I'll share her bio here. Anna is a wildlife veterinarian at the Toucan Rescue Ranch. She has a master's in conservation medicine from Mexico, and she has worked in zoological collections in Mexico along with rescue centers in Australia. She's worked with lots of animals there. She can share a lot about what it's going to be like to start a career in wildlife medicine or a career in conservation. She's going to be joining us live from Costa Rica, so we're still waiting to get that feed coming in live from the Toucan Rescue Ranch, where we hope she will share with us some of the animals going on there, what life is like down there. I know that she is joining us here, so we have her. I'm going to add her to the stream. Anna Maria, it's wonderful to see you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, I'm so excited to be here.
Wow, can you share a little bit where you're from? You're in Costa Rica. Are you in the rescue center?
Yes, I'm actually at the clinic. I have some of the animals on my back, so it is a little bit noisy. Sorry about that. Some of them like to get into it. We have a baby parrot over here, and every time someone speaks, she starts screaming too.
Oh, well, I'll keep quiet for her then. All right, well, I'll leave it to you to take away. We have half an hour here where we get to learn about what the wildlife is like in Costa Rica. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. And I'm going to try to share the screen now. I think I'm better with animals than I am with computers.
We had a bit of trouble with this with the last as well. Sometimes when you share a screen, you can go for the full screen. That might be easier to share your full screen there.
Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, yeah, I think we can feed here.
Is it sharing?
Yep, we can see it there. Wonderful.
Awesome. Then I will start the presentation. I'm basically going to talk about the road to wildlife conservation, and I'm going to present myself again. I'm Ana María Villada Rosales. I'm the Veterinary Supervisor at Toucan Rescue Ranch. I have been a vet for 10 years, even though I don't look like it. I look really young. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit of my personal experience as an insight on how to get into conservation. And if someone can take something away from what I have gone through, it will be amazing. And I'm going to share also how to get in conservation, because I know it's a highly demanding and a highly demanding career, and there's a lot of competition. So to start with, I started studying in Universidad de Guadalajara. In Mexico, I started my veterinary medicine school over there with a major on wildlife medicine and a minor on livestock. I did volunteer on Zoológico de Guadalajara, which have an amazing conservation program over there, specifically in Mexican wolf that work in the United States. Then I did my professional practices in Rosales, who they have the most amazing reproduction program of cetaceans, specifically parrots and macaws. After that, I started working in private practices, and then I went to Universidad de Chiapas to do a wildlife management diploma. After there, I met some friends, and I decided to go to Playa del Carmen to work on a private zoo collection in Expujan. Over there, I was in charge of the preventive medicine program, and I was also part of the training program by positive reinforcement. So I did a lot of training over there, but eventually I started investigating a little bit about conservation and other programs outside of zoological facilities, and I met with some of the most important people in conservation, and something I read over of Laurie Mertens, who works on the Cheetah Conservation Fund, which she said that health and prosperity of people and of all species are tied together. That resonated really strongly with me. So I decided that only being a zoological facility was not enough. I wanted to do more. I wanted to do conservation, and that's when I went to Australia to a postgrad to study a master in conservation medicine. I did 2 field placements over there. One was in the Tolga Bat Hospital with flying spectacle foxes, which they have an amazing reintroduction program, and they hope to receive almost 400 babies in one go. So they have a very, very amazing program. I'm very happy I managed to learn a little bit of how they do their self-introduction program over there. Then I studied at PERTSU. I did my self-placement over there. And they have an amazing medical program, and they work on conservation programs all over the world. They even have working orangutans on Borneo. So I did take a little bit out of there of how they work in very big, amazing facilities and how they work on rescue centers. After that, I started an internship on Toucan Rescue Ranch in 2017. In 2018, I became the veterinarian over here, and later that year, I became the veterinarian supervisor. If you guys saw yesterday, Andrea was talking about our programs, our medical programs, which is really, really amazing. I hope you saw it and you saw some of the baby slots that we have over here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Toucan Rescue Ranch. Toucan Rescue Ranch's mission is to rescue, rehab, and release Costa Rican wildlife. We have received so many different animals. I think the only animals we haven't received is tapirs. But we work with so many of all of these animals, and our main focus is to rehabilitate and put them back into the wild. We have several programs that we have been working with. I work with so many other people. We work here with biologists, education professionals, and we have one of the most amazing education programs. We have wildlife workshops. We do it online and on-site. We do a lot of community outreach, especially on our release site. We do volunteering, we do ecotourism, and we have professional internships. So whoever wants to come and practice a little bit of animal husbandry or get a little bit into rehabilitation, we do have the internships available over here, so just hop on the webpage. We also have an amazing release and rewilding program. We try our best to release almost all the animals that we receive, and we have a very good success rate. And something I'm going to be talking about today is about our medical program. We have clinical internships. We use innovative treatments. We do rehabilitation. Our medical program focuses mainly on trauma and electrocution because those are the animals that receive the most. We receive a lot of animals that have had conflict with humans, a human-animal conflict, and it happens very, very often. And electrocution, sadly, most of the animals that I have on the clinic right now are electrocuted. So we have created a very good clinical program for them. We in the medical care, we receive all the animals, we do a health check, we do quarantine, we evaluate all the treatments they are going to be needing. We talk to other veterinarians in Costa Rica, and we work with ophthalmologists, rehabilitators, physiotherapy experts, regeneration treatment experts. We use so many of tilapia skin. And after that, we create like a whole program that the animal is going to be following. How are we going to care for them, the quarantine, the treatments they're going to need, everything is species specific. And then we start working on the rehabilitation of those animals. As I said, everything is species specific. So why use innovative procedures? We do so many innovative procedures in Costa Rica. I'm so proud to say that Toucan Rescue Ranch has been working with Priscilla Ortiz, who makes tilapia treatment and steel seals treatment. We use these treatments because it's really important that after we receive the animals, these are wild animals. We want them to spend less time as possible in our care and go back into the wild as fast as possible. That's why we use innovative treatments over here. And we have cases of animals that we have regenerated their limbs or tissues. We have a sloth that is on the picture that he lost half of his face, and with tilapia treatment, we managed to regenerate most of his face to the point that he is now back into the wild. So that's why it's really, really important to work with other veterinarians, create innovative procedures, and work on the animals so you can have them back into the wild as fast as possible. After we have the medical program, we do the rehabilitation, and that's something we are very proud of because we create a rehabilitation specific to the animals. We have sloths that have been amputated, so we train them to get used to their amputations and go back into the wild, making use of all the other 3 limbs that they have left. We have also released owls that have lost an eye, and we make sure that they're able to hunt. So we're very proud of rehabilitation program that we have going on. We have the songbirds, which are poached a lot in Costa Rica. We have the parrot release program at the release site. We have the sloth release program, which is an ongoing program, and it's quite extensive and pretty long. And we also have the raptor release program. We have been working with owls and hawks, and we train them back into hunting And then once they're having hunting for long enough that we think they're good to go, then we go and release them. And we always take them back to the place where they are from. So that's also really, really important, our rehabilitation program. We have to move them into places that are as similar as possible as to the wild area they're from. And then when they're ready, we set them up over there for release. So, well, that's all I have to say about Toucan Rescue Ranch. Please do hop on into the webpage. It's an amazing place. And if you have the YouTube video, just go back and see what Andrea talked about yesterday, which is amazing. Now I'm going to talk about some tips that which I knew when I started my career as a wildlife veterinarian. To get into conservation, you don't only need to be a wildlife veterinarian. You can also go into different careers. You can do ecology. You can go to biodiversity, ecology, wildlife management. There are so many options. Don't just take one, because I know medicine could be a little bit difficult and it's not the cup of tea of many people. So just check out what careers are available. Go to a good university. As the previous speaker was saying, just find somewhere you want to study that is really, really good and just study. My recommendation is to continue studying, never stop learning. If you have a degree, go for a master. If you have a master, go for a PhD. Never stop studying. And also, it's very, very important to continue studying, because in your university is where you're going to be doing your network. You're going to be building a network and you're going to be meeting people that are on the field or have worked on the field or they have projects going on. So the best way to meet these people is when you're doing your internships, where you're doing the field placements from your university. And as I talked about previously about Toucan Rescue Ranch, networking is super, super important. We don't know everything. So whenever I have an animal that needs an orthopedic surgery or that needs the physiotherapy, I have people I can call, and that's really, really important. So for anyone studying out there, create a network that will help you find a good position or also get into the organizations you want to study at. And another thing is the field placements you're going to be searching for, they have to be very specific. You have to get focus experience. As young veterinarians or young professionals, and when we're studying, we want to do everything. We're so excited to travel the world and go to places. So we do corals in Costa Rica, and then we go to Australia with bats, or you go to Africa to rhinos. And then when you present yourself into an organization, you have a little bit of everything, but you don't have focus experience. And many organizations, what they're searching is for a very specific skill set. So my best recommendation will be to, if you want to focus on something, be the best at that thing. For example, you want to study hoofstock, get internships that are only about hoofstock. So that way, when you present yourself an organization or a zoological facility, you have all that experience gained. So they will appreciate that. It's also finding out what you're really good at, all the skill sets that you find that you're really, really good at and you manage very, very well. Be the best on that skill set. Make sure that all the internships that you find will make your skill set to grow and get better at it and get really, really, really good at it. And as I said, continue networking while doing those internships and those on focus experience. Network is going to be really, really important. Get to know other people and be friends with them. Do field placement with them, and then they will help you find organizations, and they themselves will have organizations where you will be wanting to work with. As someone that studied conservation medicine, I can say that this is the future of conservation. Just working on the field placement with people from all over the place, like multidisciplinary people. You're going to be working with biologists, with human doctors, with marketers, with storytellers. Everyone will come back together to create to do the conservation. And by taking care of the wildlife, you have to take care of the humans, and then you will take care of the ecosystem. Everything is connected. You cannot do one without the other. And as many people over here are hearing all these amazing speakers, they all talk about community, and community is really, really important, because if you have the needs covered for humans, then the humans will be willing to cover the needs of the wildlife. We at the same time will need to cover the needs of ecosystems. So basically, conservation medicine is just networking and working with people from all walks of life and just going together into conservation. When you're doing conservation medicine, now the new conservation is different from old school. Before, we will go into places and create a place where no one could go in and everything's forbidden. Now we work with communities. Community-based conservation is basically the future, and as seeing all these speakers is what works and what has been being so great. Going to a community, teaching them, educating them, making them part of your project is really, really important because, well, we have a release program here in Toucan Rescue Ranch, and it's the release program of cytosets. We educate the community. We let them know we're releasing parrots and let them know that, like, how the parrots are, what is illegal poaching, why are they not very good, well, they're not good pets. We educate these people because if they're not part of our project, then we release the parrots and someone will come and grab them again. So it's really, really important that you include the community in your overall conservation. And also, something really important is that you have to involve the woman. The women are, at least in Latin America, women are the backbone of the community. So you educate the woman and you teach them how to conserve. They will teach everyone else, and then you will open doors for conservation and to female in conservation, because that's an ongoing topic. There's a majority of males than females because most of the girls don't think they have a future. They see a lot of guys in the conservation field, and it's really, really important for us as women, as women in conservation, to show these girls that they can do this work and they can train and they can learn all they can, and then they can teach their families to do conservation. And then this young woman will become the woman in conservation in the future. So it's really, really important to smash the class ceiling, teach the people, do education workshops, include the girls in the conversation, and just slowly change the gender difference. So with all that I have said, starting your career. How are you going to start your career? It's really important to know where you want to work. What are the grassroots organizations you want to find, the NGOs, the international organizations, the zoo conservation programs that are out there. You have to find what is passionate with you, what resonates. You will find an organization that resonates with your passion, and then with their mission and their vision, they will fit with what you want to do, and then go in there. Something really amazing about grassroots organizations like Toucan Rescue Ranch is that if you resonate with what they're doing and you grow into the position, you can make the position grow. Don't just stay with the clinic that we have over here. I've been tried to make the clinical program grow, to do a little bit more of conservation. That's something really amazing, that you're able to explore more ideas and make the organization grow with you. Also, with what happens also in international organizations is that they like to hire people on the inside. So if you're doing an internship and a volunteer over there inside, then it's more likely that you will get offered a position. So it's really, really important to start with all of these. Always, when you're studying, always start volunteering, start educating yourself, start getting experience, and grow on those organizations that are locally. Something I really, really forgot to say is that when you're studying, and it's something I wish someone had told me before, is that study where you want to work. As a wildlife veterinarian, it happens very often that if you're boarded in the United States, you're not boarded in Mexico. If you're boarded in Costa Rica, you're not boarded in South Africa. And so on. If you're boarded in China, you're not boarded in other places. So it's really, really important that you find what the area is that you want to work, and study on the place. Do all your studying on the place you want to work, because that will fix a lot of problems trying to migrate from one country to another, especially on COVID times. But also, it will put your foot on the place, because the best thing to get into somewhere is to start volunteering while you're studying. You get education and you get experience. So that is really, really important, and that's what I wish someone told me when I was starting to study. Do internships, do volunteering, do education. Well, educate yourself and get all the experience you can, but get it focused. Get what you're very good at and become the best at it. And just follow your passion. The good thing about these times is that everything can be found. There's free resources online. You can talk to all these people, and there are online forums that you can make questions. They can help you. They post job advices. They put conservation advices. But most importantly, and it's something I keep talk to your professors. Your professors in the university or where you're studying, they are the ones in the field, or they're the ones that open up the field, or they know projects because some of their students are already doing this stuff. So your professors will be your best option to find all those conservation places and start working as a wildlife medicine person or as a conservation person. Granted, well, that will be all for me. I hope I didn't go a little bit too fast. Thank you so much. And here are my Instagram, my LinkedIn, and my email. So let's connect. Let's network. Let's help each other and let's lift each other into the conservation medicine position.
Yes. Wow. Thank you so much. I'm going to leave that slide up there. Okay, great. Anna, wow. Thank you so much for sharing those tips. It's really daunting to start a career in conservation, and it's really helpful to hear, perseverance. The longer you stay at it, the more people you get to know, build your network, and those are some amazing tips to one day be in a room like where you are right now. Can you walk us through a little bit of who we have joining behind you and their stories?
Well, I have over here this macaw. She was sadly illegally poached. She was someone's pet. So now she's doing here a quarantine. We cannot put her back into the wild because she doesn't know how to be wild. So we're gonna have her here on the sanctuary. On the other side, I have a small parrot in the pink basket. She was also illegally poached. It was a pet, and the owner saw that she had a malformation on the legs and decided that she didn't want it anymore and abandoned her on a clinic. And on the far away on the kennels that you guys can see over there, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots. No, 5 slots. Sorry about the counting. 5 slots from whom 4 of them have been electrocuted, and they go from very severe injuries to mild injuries. And 1 slot that got attacked by, we think, was a wildcat, and we're trying to regenerate the tissue from the arm. Granted, 1 of the slots has a baby, and they both got electrocuted. They're doing really, really well, but it's an ongoing story here in Costa Rica, electrocutions all the time.
Wow, so that actually leads me to my next question. What is the biggest species at risk right now in Costa Rica? Is it electrocution with sloths, or are there many that you're working with at the rescue center?
There are many. Fun enough, sloths are not critically endangered, but they're the ones that we receive the most on the human interaction with the power lines. But I do know that green macaws are super endangered here in Costa Rica. Ocelots and tigrillo are also really, really endangered. And there's so many amazing organizations working with them. We have the Macaw Recovery Network, who we partner with when we rescue some of the macaws. There's the Oncilla Conservation Program, where we have been sending some of the poop samples from our resident animals. There's so many that are really endangered. There's also the tapirs. So yeah, there's a lot going on here in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Wow, well, great work. Thank you for doing that work. It's, a really special species that I one day would love to see, and I'm sure our viewers would one day love to go and visit you. I'm going to take it here to the chat. We have a lot of emojis coming on in, a lot of hands clapping and way to goes. And I'll bring up one question here from Liz. Do you suggest a veterinary qualification if you want to get into wildlife rehabilitation?
Depending what you want to focus. If you want to focus on the medical part, yes, veterinary qualification is the best. If you want to focus on the rehab and the husbandry, you can totally go into zoology, you can go into wildlife management. So it depends on what you want to do exactly. If you want to focus on the medical programs of the wildlife rehabilitation, yes. But if you want to focus on wildlife rehabilitation, you can go into zoology and many other careers that focus on wildlife and not necessarily on the medical part of wildlife.
Great. Now I have a question. Oh,
I'm going to bring a baby.
Okay, I would love to see a baby. Wow. How special. We get to actually meet these animals virtually and live. We're at the Winter Blades Trails Festival.
This is a three-toed sloth. Her name is Muffin. I need to do an examination on her, listen to her lungs, see how she's eating, to her mouth. So this is some of the babies we do receive. Muffin was run over by a car. So mom died and she's the survivor, but she's doing pretty good. Hi. if you guys want to see a little bit more of them. Here we use a lot of these. We try to use buckets as much as possible because we don't want to be overhandling the sloths. So we transport them on buckets, we feed them on the buckets, and we move them into their training schools that you saw with Andrea yesterday, where they learn how to climb up around, and then we move them slowly into trees, and then we go on from there.
It really looks like she wants to grab onto you and say hello.
She does, but we shouldn't allow her to do that. I think she's a little bit hungry. They get really nervous when they go into the clinic because we do stuff they don't like for them, like putting like the stethoscope on them and taking poop samples, but it's necessary to make sure that they're healthy.
And how old is this baby sloth?
She's around 3 to 4 months. I think she's reaching the 5 months. She's growing really, really fast. So we're going to have to move her into a bigger structure in the future.
And we expect she's going to do well, right? She's going to be okay?
Yeah, we hope to release her as soon as possible. I mean, we already sent other 2 treatoads into the release site, and they're getting trained on getting released. So hopefully she will follow on the steps of those 2 guys. I'm going to put her over here so that she doesn't climb over me. I'll be with you in a second.
Wow, that was so exciting. I've never seen a sloth live like that. Wow, thank you so much for sharing her with us. Is there anything that you can advise all of our viewers how to get involved, what they can do to support your work and conservation efforts in Costa Rica and beyond?
Well, we have an amazing webpage, and we have the Instagram. Go to Instagram, follow us over there. We have so many donations that we do online. Come visit us whenever you are out of the COVID. Please do support us. Do virtual tours with us. Well, we have an amazing team of marketers, and they make sure that we have a lot of going on online. So just go into our webpage and follow what we're doing. We have LinkedIn, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, and the webpage where you will find all the information you want is over there, Toucan Rescue Ranch. So please do come and support us, and yeah, follow us on Instagram so you can see what we're doing, what we're currently working on.
Wow, very cool, very cool. And before we go, we have a couple more minutes for a question. I want to know, how is COVID impacting you and the work that you're doing, and are the animals impacted by COVID? Have you seen that with any of the animals that you work with?
Well, we haven't had reports in Costa Rica of animals getting COVID, but it really did affect us like negatively. We lost so many of the tourists. We do survive on ecotourism and the education program, and we have to halt everything because we had no people in the schools. Tourists were not coming, and the locals were also on lockdown. So we did have a very difficult year, and we just slowly opening up again. But it was a little bit difficult. We kept receiving animals because accidents kept happening, and the animals still needed attention. So it was really difficult to work with just a very small amount of money and a very small amount of donations, and still working for the animals. So it really did affect us. So if you can support us online, that would be amazing.
Yeah, great. So we're going to have that up here again, the Twitter, Instagram, and check them out online. Any final thoughts? Thanks so much for sharing all of your career advice and the advice for young women out there who want to break that glass ceiling in the conservation world. Any final tips for any of our young explorers watching right now?
Well, stay passionate. If you really want to do this, stay passionate. Be resilient. It's going to be difficult. Many people is going to tell you no, but still go on and try your best. Educate yourself. Follow as many education programs as you can, and start volunteering on your community. Your community is the best option to start conservation.
There are conservation efforts all throughout the world. So thank you so much for joining us today. And hopefully one day we'll make it down to the Toucan Rescue Ranch.
Yeah, we'll be happy to have you here.
Great. All right.